Having a strong mind is super important for how well you do in life. It's like a secret power that helps you keep going even when things get tough. Mental strength is what helps you tackle problems, stick to your goals, and face challenges with determination, especially when your talents and skills alone aren't enough. This video is all about the key ideas in Buddhism and how they relate to 10 habits that can make your mind weaker. If we learn and use these teachings, we can start a journey to make our minds stronger and more able to bounce back from tough times. 1. Having a negative mindset. A negative mindset is like a heavy cloud that covers the bright sun of our inner happiness. It's a habit that makes us mentally weak because it colors everything in our life with shades of gloom and despair. When we constantly focus on the bad things, we miss out on the good stuff happening around us. It's like wearing dark glasses. Everything appears dim, even the beautiful moments. If we're always thinking negatively, we start believing that everything is bad and that success and happiness are impossible. This mental outlook becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, influencing our actions and decisions. We may become afraid to take chances or try new things because we've convinced ourselves they'll fail. To overcome a negative mindset, we can turn to the teachings of Buddhism. One key idea is mindfulness, which means paying attention to our thoughts without judging them. Instead of letting negative thoughts take over, we can acknowledge them and then choose to focus on positive aspects. It's like sweeping away the clouds to let the sun shine through. Buddhism also introduces the practice of metta, or loving-kindness meditation. This involves directing warm and positive thoughts towards ourselves and others. By regularly practicing metta, we gradually shift our mindset from negativity to a more compassionate and positive outlook. The concept of impermanence in Buddhism teaches us that everything changes. The bad times will pass, just like the good times. Knowing this, we can face challenges with a more resilient mindset, understanding that difficulties are not permanent. By embracing these Buddhist teachings, we empower ourselves to break free from the chains of negativity and foster a positive and resilient mind. 2. Complaining about things outside your control. Complaining about things outside our control is like holding on to a hot coal. It only hurts us. This habit weakens our minds because it puts our focus on what's wrong rather than on finding solutions. It's like getting stuck in quicksand. The more we complain, the deeper we sink into negativity. The teachings of Buddhism shed light on why this habit makes us mentally weak and how we can break free from its grip. When we complain, we often forget about impermanence, a big idea in Buddhism. Impermanence means that everything is always changing. Complaining tends to make us believe that things will never get better, trapping us in a cycle of discontent. Instead of seeing challenges as temporary, we make them seem like permanent problems. To overcome the habit of complaining, we can practice acceptance. This means understanding that life has ups and downs, and we can't control everything. Acceptance is like learning to dance in the rain instead of complaining about the storm. By accepting what we cannot change, we free ourselves from the heavy burden of constant complaint. Buddhism also encourages us to focus our energy on things we can control. It's like steering a boat in a storm. We may not control the weather, but we can navigate our vessel. By taking action where we have power, we move from a passive, complaining mode to an active, problem-solving mindset. In the teachings of Buddhism, letting go is another powerful practice. It's like releasing a balloon. We feel lighter when we let go of unnecessary burdens. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means releasing the tight grip on complaints and allowing space for positive change. By incorporating these Buddhist principles into our lives, we learn to approach challenges with a balanced mind, accepting the impermanence of situations and focusing our efforts where we can make a difference. In doing so, we liberate ourselves from the grip of complaints and cultivate a mental strength that propels us forward, even in the face of adversity. 3. Not expressing yourself. Not expressing yourself is like having a treasure chest, but keeping it locked away. This habit weakens our minds because it stops us from sharing our thoughts, feelings, and ideas with the world. It's like trying to navigate a dark room without turning on the light. Things get confusing and overwhelming. The teachings of Buddhism guide us to understand why this habit makes us mentally weak and how we can break free from its constraints. In Buddhism, expressing oneself authentically is considered essential for building a strong foundation for mental well-being. When we hold back our thoughts and emotions, it's like bottling up a fizzy drink. The pressure builds, and eventually, it might explode. This explosion could be in the form of stress, anxiety, or a feeling of being overwhelmed because we haven't let out what's inside. The practice of right speech in Buddhism encourages us to communicate with truth, kindness, and mindfulness. It's like planting seeds of positivity. When we speak, our words can grow into a garden of understanding and connection. By aligning our words with these principles, we build a bridge between ourselves and others, fostering authentic relationships. To overcome the habit of not expressing oneself, mindfulness becomes a valuable tool. Mindfulness is like a mirror. It reflects our thoughts and helps us become aware of our feelings. Chakra. By being present in the moment, we can observe our thoughts without judgment and express ourselves with clarity and compassion. Expressing oneself is not just about words. It can also involve nonverbal communication, such as body language and gestures. These unspoken expressions are like a secret language, conveying our feelings and thoughts even when we don't say a word. By being aware of our nonverbal communication, we enhance our ability to express ourselves authentically. By integrating these Buddhist teachings into our lives, we learn that authentic expression is not only liberating for ourselves, but also contributes to the well-being of those around us. It's like opening a window to let fresh air in. Expressing ourselves allows the light of understanding and connection to brighten our mental space. In breaking free from a habit of not expressing ourselves, we embark on a journey towards authenticity, building a resilient and empowered mind. 4. Blaming others for your problems. Blaming others for our problems is like trying to run a race with a backpack full of rocks. It weighs us down and slows our progress. This habit weakens our minds because it takes away our power. It's like handing the steering wheel of our life to someone else instead of driving ourselves. The teachings of Buddhism illuminate why this habit makes us mentally weak and how we can untangle ourselves from the blame game. In Buddhism, the concept of karma teaches us that our actions have consequences. Blaming others is like ignoring this law. It's refusing to recognize that we play a role in the unfolding of our own lives. When we blame, we become like spectators rather than active participants in our journey. Taking personal responsibility is about understanding that we have the ability to shape our experiences. It's like being the captain of our ship. We may face storms, but we can navigate through them. When we blame others, it's like saying we have no control, but in reality, we do. By embracing the idea that our actions matter, we empower ourselves to make positive choices. To overcome the habit of blaming, forgiveness plays a crucial role. Forgiveness is not about saying what others did is okay. It's about releasing ourselves from the burden of carrying resentment. It's like setting down a heavy backpack. We feel lighter and freer. Forgiving others and ourselves is a powerful step towards reclaiming our personal responsibility. Mindfulness, a key practice in Buddhism, helps us become aware of our thoughts and actions. It's like shining a light on a dark path. We can see where we're going. By being mindful, we can catch ourselves when we're tempted to blame and choose a more empowering response. This shift from blame to responsibility is like trading the rocks in our backpack for wings that help us soar. Incorporating these Buddhist teachings into our lives invites us to step into our power and take charge of our journey. Breaking free from the blame game is not just about holding others accountable. It's about recognizing our agency and ability to shape a positive and resilient mindset. By steering away from blame and embracing personal responsibility, we embark on a journey towards mental strength and self-empowerment. 5. Fantasizing instead of visualizing. Fantasizing instead of visualizing is like building castles in the air. They might be beautiful, but they lack a solid foundation. This habit weakens our minds because it disconnects us from the reality of our present moment. It's like chasing mirages in a desert. We may never reach what we're yearning for. The teachings of Buddhism offer insights into why this habit makes us mentally weak and how we can shift from fantasies to visualization for a more grounded and positive mindset. Fantasies often involve unrealistic scenarios and wishful thinking. It's like expecting a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. A beautiful idea, but not based in reality. When we get lost in fantasies, it's like daydreaming while missing out on the beauty of the present moment. This habit weakens us because it can lead to disappointment when reality doesn't align with our imagined scenarios. Visualization, on the other hand, involves creating mental images of achievable goals. It's like having a treasure map. We can chart a course to reach our aspirations. Buddhism emphasizes the importance of right intention and right action, which align with visualizing positive outcomes and taking practical steps toward realizing them. By grounding our aspirations in reality, we bridge the gap between dreams and achievable goals. The teachings of impermanence in Buddhism remind us that change is a constant. Fantasies often involve clinging to a fixed idea of the future, while visualization adapts to the ever-shifting landscape of life. It's like riding a wave instead of trying to hold on to the shore. We move with the flow of life rather than getting stuck in one place. Practicing mindfulness helps us stay present and focused, reducing the tendency to drift into fantasies. Mindfulness is like an anchor. It keeps us grounded in the here and now. When we are mindful, we can visualize our goals with clarity and take intentional actions to bring them to life. By integrating these Buddhist teachings into our lives, we shift from the fleeting nature of fantasies to the empowering practice of visualization. This transition strengthens our minds by aligning our aspirations with reality and guiding us towards achievable outcomes. In doing so, we build a mindset that is both resilient and grounded, capable of navigating the complexities of life with wisdom and clarity. 6. Holding on to grudges. Holding on to grudges is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. It only harms us. This habit weakens our minds because it keeps us trapped in a cycle of resentment and anger. It's like carrying a heavy chain. Each grudge adds another link, making it harder to move forward. The teachings of Buddhism offer profound insights into why this habit makes us mentally weak and how we can free ourselves from the burden of grudges. In Buddhism, the concept of non-attachment encourages us to let go of things that weigh us down. Holding on to grudges is like gripping a thorny branch. The tighter we hold, the more it hurts. Grudges often stem from a desire for justice or revenge, but in reality, they keep us tied to the very pain we wish to escape. Forgiveness is a powerful antidote to grudges. Forgiveness in Buddhism is not about condoning harmful actions, but about releasing the emotional hold those actions have on us. It's like unlocking the chain and setting ourselves free. Forgiveness allows us to move forward without the burden of past wrongs weighing us down. The practice of metta, or loving-kindness meditation, can also help us let go of grudges. By cultivating feelings of compassion and goodwill, even towards those who have hurt us, we dissolve the barriers of resentment. It's like melting ice. The coldness of anger transforms into the warmth of understanding. Mindfulness, too, plays a crucial role in overcoming grudges. When we practice mindfulness, we become aware of our thoughts and emotions without getting caught up in them. It's like watching clouds pass by. We observe without attachment. By being mindful, we can recognize when a grudge is forming and choose to let it go rather than letting it fester. Embracing impermanence, a core Buddhist teaching, helps us understand that everything changes, including the pain of past hurts. It's like watching a river flow. What was painful yesterday may be less so today, and eventually, it will pass altogether. By incorporating these Buddhist teachings into our lives, we learn that letting go of grudges is an act of self-compassion and mental strength. It's about choosing freedom over the chains of resentment and allowing ourselves to move forward with a lighter heart. In breaking free from the habit of holding on to grudges, we cultivate a mindset that is both resilient and open to the possibilities of peace and happiness. 7. Comparing yourself to others. Comparing yourself to others is like running a race, but constantly looking at the other runners instead of focusing on your own path. This habit weakens our minds because it distracts us from our own progress and potential. It's like trying to paint a masterpiece, but constantly changing your colors based on someone else's painting. The teachings of Buddhism offer deep insights into why this habit makes us mentally weak and how we can redirect our focus inward to build a stronger mind. In Buddhism, the concept of non-attachment encourages us to let go of comparisons and embrace our unique journey. Comparing ourselves to others is like attaching our happiness to something outside of us. It's a recipe for dissatisfaction. When we compare, we either feel inferior, which leads to low self-esteem, or superior, which fosters arrogance. Both outcomes are like walking on a shaky bridge, unstable and prone to collapse. To overcome the habit of comparison, Buddhism teaches us to focus on our own path, much like a traveler on a journey. The practice of mindfulness is key here. It's like looking at a map and understanding where you are without worrying about where others are going. Mindfulness helps us stay present and aware of our own progress without getting distracted by others. The concept of self-compassion in Buddhism is also crucial in overcoming comparison. Self-compassion is like nurturing a plant. You provide it with the care it needs to grow, regardless of how other plants are doing. By being kind to ourselves and recognizing our own worth, we can appreciate our journey without comparing it to others. Buddhism also teaches us to cultivate a mindset of equanimity, which means maintaining a balanced mind regardless of external circumstances. It's like being a calm lake, unaffected by the storms around it. When we practice equanimity, we can appreciate the success of others without feeling envious or inadequate. By embracing these Buddhist teachings, we learn that our true value lies in our own unique journey. Breaking free from the habit of comparison allows us to focus on our own growth and progress, leading to a stronger and more resilient mind. In doing so, we cultivate a sense of inner peace and fulfillment, knowing that we are exactly where we need to be on our path. 8. Dwelling on the past. Dwelling on the past is like trying to drive a car while only looking in the rearview mirror. You miss what's happening right in front of you. This habit weakens our minds because it keeps us stuck in what was, rather than embracing what is. It's like trying to swim with an anchor tied to your leg. You'll never make it to shore if you're constantly being pulled back. The teachings of Buddhism offer profound wisdom on why this habit makes us mentally weak and how we can shift our focus to the present moment. In Buddhism, the concept of impermanence reminds us that everything is in a state of constant change. Dwelling on the past is like clinging to something that no longer exists. It's like trying to hold on to water. It slips through your fingers. When we dwell on the past, we relive old wounds and regrets, which prevents us from fully experiencing the present moment. The practice of mindfulness is a powerful tool to overcome the habit of dwelling on the past. Mindfulness is like a compass. It points us to the present moment, guiding us away from the distractions of the past. By being mindful, we can observe our thoughts and emotions without getting caught up in them, allowing us to let go of past attachments. Buddhism also teaches the importance of letting go. Letting go is like releasing a balloon into the sky. It's a freeing act that allows us to move forward unburdened. When we let go of the past, we make space for new experiences and opportunities to enter our lives. The practice of forgiveness is another key element in overcoming this habit. Forgiveness is not just about forgiving others, but also about forgiving ourselves for past mistakes. It's like wiping the slate clean. We give ourselves permission to start anew. By incorporating these Buddhist teachings into our lives, we learn that the past does not define us. And by letting go, we open ourselves up to the infinite possibilities of the present moment. Breaking free from the habit of dwelling on the past allows us to live more fully and authentically, building a mind that is strong, resilient, and focused on the here and now. 9. Ignoring your intuition. Ignoring your intuition is like turning off your inner GPS and trying to navigate through life without a map. This habit weakens our minds because it disconnects us from our inner wisdom and guidance. It's like having a lantern but choosing to walk in the dark. You miss out on the light that could show you the way. The teachings of Buddhism offer insights into why this habit makes us mentally weak and how we can reconnect with our intuition to build a stronger mind. In Buddhism, the concept of inner wisdom, or prajna, is considered a vital aspect of our mental and spiritual well-being. Ignoring our intuition is like silencing a wise friend who has our best interests at heart. When we disregard our inner guidance, we may find ourselves making decisions that lead to confusion, doubt, and regret. To overcome the habit of ignoring intuition, mindfulness plays a crucial role. Mindfulness is like tuning into a clear radio signal. It allows us to hear our inner voice without the static of external distractions. By practicing mindfulness, we can become more tuned to our intuition, recognizing it as a valuable source of insight and guidance. Buddhism also teaches the importance of trust, trusting ourselves and the process of life. Trusting our intuition is like planting a seed and trusting that it will grow into a tree. When we trust our inner wisdom, we empower ourselves to make decisions that align with our true nature and purpose. The practice of meditation is another powerful way to connect with our intuition. Meditation is like clearing the fog from our minds. It creates a space of stillness and clarity where our intuition can emerge. Through regular meditation, we can strengthen our connection to our inner wisdom and build a deeper sense of trust in ourselves. By integrating these Buddhist teachings into our lives, we learn to listen to and trust our intuition, building a mind that is both wise and resilient. Breaking free from the habit of ignoring our inner guidance allows us to navigate through life with greater clarity and confidence, knowing that we are being guided by our deepest truths. 10. Giving up easily. Giving up easily is like planting a garden, but abandoning it before the flowers bloom. This habit weakens our minds because it undermines our ability to persevere and overcome challenges. It's like starting a journey but stopping at the first obstacle. You'll never reach your destination if you give up too soon. The teachings of Buddhism offer profound insights into why this habit makes us mentally weak and how we can cultivate resilience and determination to build a stronger mind. In Buddhism, the concept of right effort is central to achieving our goals and developing mental strength. Giving up easily is like abandoning a path before it has had a chance to lead somewhere. The practice of right effort in Buddhism encourages us to persist with diligence and determination, even when faced with difficulties. It's about continuing to move forward, despite the challenges, knowing that every step brings us closer to our goal. To overcome the habit of giving up easily, we can draw inspiration from the Buddhist principle of perseverance. Perseverance is like a river carving through rock. It requires consistent effort and patience to achieve results. By cultivating a mindset of perseverance, we embrace the journey as a series of learning experiences rather than just a means to an end. Another key Buddhist teaching is the concept of resilience. Resilience is like a bamboo that bends with the wind but doesn't break. It involves adapting to adversity and bouncing back stronger. By developing resilience, we can face setbacks with a balanced perspective, understanding that challenges are opportunities for growth. The practice of self-compassion also plays a crucial role in overcoming the tendency to give up. Self-compassion is like giving yourself a comforting embrace. It acknowledges that it's okay to struggle and that persistence is a part of the process. By treating ourselves with kindness during tough times, we build the inner strength needed to keep going. Incorporating these Buddhist teachings into our lives encourages us to develop a mindset of perseverance and resilience. Breaking free from the habit of giving up easily allows us to approach challenges with a determined spirit, knowing that every effort contributes to our growth and success. Cultivating mental strength is a journey that involves recognizing and overcoming habits that weaken our minds. By understanding and addressing these 10 habits, having a negative mindset, complaining about things outside our control, not expressing yourself, blaming others for your problems, fantasizing instead of visualizing, holding on to grudges, comparing yourself to others, dwelling on the past, ignoring your intuition, and giving up easily, we can begin to build a more resilient and empowered mind. The teachings of Buddhism offer valuable insights and practices to help us on this journey. By embracing mindfulness, acceptance, forgiveness, self-compassion, and perseverance, we align ourselves with a path of mental strength and inner resilience. As we integrate these principles into our lives, we learn to navigate challenges with grace and determination, ultimately fostering a mindset that is both strong and adaptable. This journey toward mental strength is not about achieving perfection, but about continually striving to grow and improve. By recognizing and transforming these habits, we empower ourselves to lead a more fulfilling and meaningful life, guided by the wisdom of Buddhist teachings and the strength of our own inner resolve.